Hello, welcome back to my channel. We are back at it again with another Amberlynn reaction. There has been a lot of drama that has happened the past few days. I was busy, so this is the first time I was able to sit down and actually get into this. So where do we even begin? Okay, so Beck and Destiny uploaded another video talking about their experience. I have not gone through the whole thing, but I do know just from other channels and from the little bit that I have watched, they do end up answering a question by the ankle. I think the whole thing is by the ankle from what I got. But um, they answer one of the questions that the ankle asks, which was there any like real confirmation that Amberlynn had cancer? Blah 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 blah, right? And both Destiny and Beck say that they don't know 100%. They don't really remember, especially Beck. We have to remember at this time, like, Beck was also going through the fact that their mom was literally dying of cancer. And they were dissociating heavily through that whole relationship, especially at the end. So I can imagine details are very mixed up for them, which they openly admit to. So I respect that. Um, but they said she absolutely went through getting her stuff taken out, aka hysterectomy. She did have to get a DNC. She was rushed to the emergency room. Like, it was very scary. But they don't remember specifically like the word cancer, like that she has cancer. What they remember is saying that that Amberlynn has cancer cells, and they're not sure if that means anything different by saying cancer cells versus cancer. And yeah, if you find cancer cells, you have cancer. But they just weren't sure. And they said that in the video. Both Destiny and Beck said that they weren't sure if there was a difference. They aren't very knowledgeable on this topic, which is fair. And they just specifically remember hearing that Amberlynn had cancer cells. On top of it, Beck then, you could tell, felt really uncomfortable with the way that they went about saying what they had, or like the way that they addressed the question for Amberlynn's cancer. And so they then later on in the stream clarified, like, I just want you guys to know, I'm not saying any of this. I'm not saying that Amberlynn lied. I'm not saying that the story's not true. It was a very scary situation. It did happen, like the way that the way that Amberlynn was saying it, it did happen. She did have to have emergency surgery. She then did have to have a hysterectomy. Again, they said it in a different way, but I'm paraphrasing. And so then after the live stream, Beck uploaded another thing, a community tab, addressing one more time this situation, because you could really tell that Beck felt like they wanted to be very clear that they were not denying that Amberlynn had cancer. They were not denying that Amberlynn went through the things that she had went through. And so they posted this community post, which I'll have here, that says, "Hey guys, so after getting off live, I just wanted to say, while I do like the ankle, I didn't watch his questions and answers beforehand to figure out what kind of questions he asked. I know some people will think that they weren't all in the best taste. I do want to say though that I was not trying to imply at all that Amberlynn did not have cancer. I was just trying to say I can't confirm for you myself the details of what all happened. I don't remember all those details, but it was live and I was nervous, and I definitely didn't word that as best I could. Please don't take any of that to mean that I didn't believe her or that she didn't go to the doctors or have her hysterectomy. It was a scary situation regardless of the details. I need to clarify that for everyone. Thank you for watching. The live was really big and intense. We weren't expecting all of that." Yeah, so Beck really wanted to really wanted to bring it home that they are not implying, they are not saying that Amberlynn is lying. They are just saying, which I respect and which every person should do. If you don't know something, or you don't know something 100%, you shouldn't say that you do, and you know, in the chance that something could be wrong, right? Beck is saying, yes, the things that I know, I will back Amberlynn up. She had a hysterectomy, she had a DNC, I had to rush her to the emergency room, she was bleeding out, it was very scary, something was obviously going on. Now, do I remember all of the specific details? No. Again, Beck was like dissociating through the last parts of the relationship. Beck's mom was dying of cancer, or at this point had already died of cancer. The relationship was absolutely horrific at this point. So I don't blame Beck for not remembering all the like special little details of it, which sounds crazy, but like it's not. Like when you're in survival mode, like you're just trying to get through the day. And Beck still showed up for Amberlynn, was still there by Amberlynn's side the entire time. And so I think they did what they had to do, and they were still a good partner even in their like attempt to just be in survival mode, you know? So finally, Destiny also said during this that what she remembers being told during this event in Amberlynn's life was that Amberlynn had cancerous cells. So then Amberlynn, of course, goes on to Alive, which she went on to delete very quickly. However, the ankle did get a video of it before she deleted it. I believe another channel got a video of it. I haven't seen it, but I think it's just the video without any commentary. I've watched the ankle watch it. It's only a 5-minute live. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna force you guys to watch it as well because it's just stupid. Amberlynn comes on, smug as hell. Someone's like, girl, go to bed, because it was very late when she uploaded this. It was after the live stream. And Amberlynn said, haha, relatable. It was so weird, y'all.
So do not mind that. How are you guys? Hello, hello. Natalie, girls' bedtime. Relatable, but I just found something out.
She's like, it's so relatable, but like, no, I actually found something out. Like, it was so weird the way, like, she's psycho, y'all. And then she said that she did not watch the video that Destiny and Beck put up, which, okay, so why are you coming on here yelling about shit that you don't know about? And says that a bunch of people went on messaging her saying, oh, so you lied about cancer, which, like, if people watching Beck and Destiny's video and also seeing Beck's post still thought that Beck was saying Amberlynn was lying about cancer, then y'all are not smart, okay? Like, y'all do not have critical thinkings going on. So y'all can like hate on Amberlynn. I'm right there with you, but you can't go around and also be a dumb bitch, okay? Like, that was not what was being implied whatsoever in that video or in the post. So for people to jump on that bandwagon because it's something that they want to believe, I think is so silly. Sorry if y'all don't like that. I don't understand why we're still sitting here speculating a person's cancer story. I think that's just like, we have so many other things we could be talking about. Again, she got a full hysterectomy. The cancer had spread through the muscle in her uterus. Okay, y'all. Like, what we should be really upset about is not whether Amberlynn had cancer or not, because again, I fully believe she did. What we should be speculating about is why the fuck she hasn't been getting updated treatments for it. Why she hasn't been getting, why she doesn't have a fucking oncologist. Those are the things that we should be asking, not did Amberlynn have cancer. That's just such a played out statement at this point. But Amberlynn then goes, of course, like, I was like, what the heck? And then people are saying like, yeah, like, you lied about cancer, you're horrible. And so she was like, so I came on here, not, her first thought wasn't, let me go watch the video, or at least, hey, could you send me that segment of the video so I could see what's being said? No, Amberlynn in her truest fashion, doesn't give a fuck about facts, and just jumps right into her going into a full-on temper tantrum like a child, and goes onto live and says, how fucking dare you, Destiny? Or no, really, this was all directed towards Beck, which is crazy because Destiny was saying the same shit as well. But I guess Destiny wasn't like her partner at the time, so I don't know. But just hound on Beck, even though, again, Destiny was also partaking in this conversation. So I found that very weird. Saying, like, you're absolutely disgusting. I get, like, you want to talk about rags. You want to talk about, like, my hygiene, all of that. I don't give a fuck. But, like, for you to, like, sit there and deny my cancer, like, for money is absolutely disgusting.
You're either lying for money or you really truly never gave a fuck about me.
You're a disgusting human being, which again, Beck did not deny Amberlynn's cancer, multiple times wanted to make it known. I am not saying Amberlynn is lying. Just to clarify, what she has said went on, went on. I just don't know the detailed thing. Like, I don't know what it, like, the exact wordings that came out of the doctor's mouth. Fair. So then Amberlynn pulls up a screenshot showing, of course, on her phone like this because she ain't so smart, y'all. Reading the note that the doctor wrote after seeing Amberlynn.
Miss Reed is a 29-year-old patient who underwent a total abdominal hysterectomy. These words are huge, so if I stumble, I'm going to apologize. With bilateral blah, blah, blah on July 15th, 2020, with final pathology revealing stage 1B, grade 2 endometrial cancer with 56% myometrial invasion and no blah, 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 blah. So this is from the actual, where I went, the documentation on the actual app. So there is the proof.
Saying the grade, the type, and essentially what it is she has stage 1, y'all. Stage 1, grade B, uterine cancer. It had spread into the muscle. They had to go in and do like bilateral incisions, essentially just explaining the surgery to take out the uterus. So yeah, it was just a confirmation. But Amberlynn, again, she had cancer, y'all. Okay, it could have been absolutely fucking worse. But Amberlynn has not done anything to keep up with the treatments or keep up with the scannings and whatever. So at this point, it could be worse because it was already metastasizing. Not great, y'all. So that's the drama for that. Amberlynn then goes at the end, she's like, you're absolutely disgusting. Like,
what about my hygiene, about rags? I don't give a fuck. But to want money so bad that you're going to sit there and dismiss myself going through cancer when you literally saw the whole journey and you were there right next to me? Fuck you and goodbye.
bye, kind of thing, right? But then in true millennial fashion, the camera was on for another like 5 seconds. It was a long 5 seconds. She was just like pimping herself like this. And then it went blank. It was kind of funny, y'all. It kind of ate up a little bit. Okay. Then more drama is Destiny then came on a day later and said in her community post, in light of everything happening right now, I was looking through old messages and found the screenshots between me and a close friend at the time of our breakup. Amberlynn wants to make all of her exes look hungry for attention and money and just out to get her, but she treated all of us badly and still doesn't seem to care that she did it at all. In these messages, I talk about how I felt in those moments. I think looking back, it's really telling. I didn't even realize, I'm gonna bring this up, sorry. I didn't even realize I was feeling this way or remember a lot of everything going on. The last month of our relationship was like walking on eggshells. I was in full-blown survival mode, which is Same story with Beck. Yeah, I still supported her after I found a new partner and went out of my way for her, but I used her right. So, I'm gonna have obviously screenshots of everything here. But it starts off with, this is January 14th, 2017. Destiny says, friend. The person goes, yes. Destiny says, we broke up. They said, are you okay? What are you feeling? Destiny says, I've been out of it for so long and nothing I was saying mattered. And I'm in my room alone about to play Sims. Am I a bad person for not feeling anything? Like, why am I so numb? I mean, I guess it would be nice if you knew everything as well. So my first like thought on this is like, I mean, like obviously Destiny was not abuse. This feels so wrong to say, but like abuse to the extent of Destiny or of Beck. But Destiny was still abused in a lot of ways, still taken advantage of, still controlled. Again, granted, not as severely as Beck, just because I think Destiny just wouldn't allow themselves to be that, like, treated that way to that extent, but they still were treated that way. And so, like, when you finally get, like, released from that grasp, it is a very numb feeling. It's kind of like is this real? Is this, like, am I actually free right now? Like, you don't really feel sad. You don't feel excited. And I say this as a person who's gone through something similar to this. You just kind of feel like, you kind of wait for the other shoe to drop. You're just kind of in a limbo moment of like, is this really done or what's about to happen kind of thing. So I understand the feeling of like being numb. The person then responds, you're not a bad person for not feeling anything. Sometimes people who have been together for so long and they start to feel that gravity that was pulling them together is now pushing them apart. You got tired and you felt it so much that it is a constant feeling which leaves you numb. I don't need to know the past. I wasn't meant to know. I've met you now, so this is where I've start. I get to see the now and the future. I'm the fresh look dude. That may have sounded not as awesome as it was in my head. Yeah, I think the friend seems very nice. I do think that they I think they think they're being more artistic than they were able to portray on the page, which is fine. But I get the sentiment. Uh, yeah, I think they seem like a very good friend. Glad Destiny had someone like that after the breakup. Then Destiny goes, "You're literally so awesome, though. What you said makes sense." Yeah, like I do think absolutely Destiny's not a bad person for feeling the way that she feels after that. And I do think that, like, again, Destiny had been like controlled and just like it just been in a shit relationship between the both of them for so long that like once you get like out of that, again, it's kind of just like it's like the quiet after the storm of like, okay, like what are we doing? The friend then sent a bitten key. I don't know what that means. And then Destiny says, I meant like what happened today that sparked all of this madness, BTW, not the past. The friend said, you need to take time for yourself. You may have gotten lost in that relationship. So step out of the bubble, experience new things, get a new perspective or outlook, and re-meet yourself now. I get it. New things happen. Yeah, I think that's great advice. I think that's true for anyone in a relationship that gets like that and the relationship is ended. I think you need to, we all get a little bit lost sometimes, especially in a controlling abusive relationship. You definitely get lost. That's kind of the abuser's whole agenda, is to make you not feel yourself and to not have connection with who you are as a person, so they can control you. Then Destiny says, what Okay, what started all of this is like she got mad at me on lunch, on last break, because the last 15 minutes of lunch I didn't text her back. I was out there talking to you and B. If I had told her that, she would have been pissed off, so I told her they made an announcement. I know that was really stupid, but either way, she'd be pissed off. So I'm guessing she's talking to Dana in this, because she was friends with Dana and another person, B. I remember her talking about, because at this point she did not fuck with Charla. Charla was being weird as hell, um, stalking her and shit, whatever. Okay, then the friend goes, well, you know what was coming. You didn't do it to piss her off. You did it to protect her feelings. To be honest, I think Destiny was in a place where like lying was the best option for her. Like, it was, again, a survival mode. Again, obviously it's not great to lie, but like I think anyone that's been in this kind of relationship, or like had a relationship with a narc abuser, um they kind of put you into positions where like lying is your only way out if you don't want to like have this massive blowout over something so small, like not texting back for 15 minutes. It's just kind of one of those things where it's just like it's easier to like nod and smile instead of like say what you really think. In a narc abuse relationship, it's also easier to just kind of like tell a white lie, because it's just, if not, the whole thing is just going to be blown out of proportion. That's like a narc's favorite thing, is to blow everything out of proportion because they are not in control of something. So I don't think it was really to um like comfort Amberlynn. I think it was to avoid a massive blowout, which I understand. Destiny said, so then when we got off work, she asked if they talked to us, and blank said no. Then she was yelling at me for lying, and it turned into this because she was calling me every name in the book, screaming, and I'm honestly scared of her, which, that's crazy. Destiny was scared of Amberlynn, which I understand. Amberlynn has like 300 pounds on pretty much every girlfriend she's with. Destiny is very small. Like, yes, she's fat. She's morbidly obese. But her body frame is tiny, tiny, tiny. I mean, Amber's is too, but like, even compared to Amberlynn and Destiny, Destiny is like at least an inch or two shorter, maybe like at least an inch or two shorter to Destiny. Like, you could, or Amber, you can like see a height difference between Amber and Destiny. And Amberlynn is not tall, and Amberlynn is also has a very slight body frame, which makes her weight even crazier. So for Destiny to be scared, that's like really sad, obviously, and it's very telling that Destiny was scared of Amberlynn. Even when Amberlynn wasn't that mobile, Destiny was still scared of Amberlynn. So you can only imagine the venom that was coming through her words and the threats that were happening. She hits the wall. She never hit me, but it's scary. It's scary. Exactly. But it's also pretty sad that I had to lie so she wouldn't be mad. Yeah. Also, it's crazy. So Amberlynn literally is like Kyle with his monster drink, punching walls when his like significant other won't do what he wants. That's like crazy. She really is an abusive man, y'all. Like, Amberlynn was born in the wrong body. Well, actually in the right body to preserve everyone that she's been in a relationship with. But like, Amberlynn's dangerous. Like, never have I been in a fight where I felt the need to punch anything. I've definitely yelled. I've definitely gotten upset. That's a normal human reaction. But I've never had the urge to throw anything, to punch anything, to hit anyone, to essentially assert any type of physical violence on things or people around me. And I think it's a really big red flag if that is what's happening to someone, if they are not able to use their words or step away when the situation's getting that heated that you feel the need to be punching things. Amberlynn is a danger, 100%. We've all said it. The whole community knows this at this point. Amberlynn is a physical danger. And it's interesting to have it confirmed here. We also have to remember Amberlynn was still more mobile at this point. Yeah. She didn't get into the 500s until she was with Beck. So she was still mobile. She was insanely morbidly obese. She was pretty much 500 pounds at this point. But whatever. Okay. The friend goes, well, if she is that angry and looks to hurt you physically, you get her help and then find help for you. It is sad. It's sad. It's at the point where lying is the only way to help someone. And that's when you step back and reevaluate. Absolutely. But you know what? It's not your problem. And I say this again, to anyone that might be in that situation, it is not your business to get the other person help. It is your business to protect yourself and get yourself out of that situation. Yeah, and if you can from a safe distance, maybe get someone to help them. That's great, but it's not your responsibility. They are a grown ass adult, and if they're abusing you, it's not your responsibility to get them help because they're abusing you. It's your responsibility to get yourself help and to get yourself out in the best and safest possible way. Destiny then says, she is, until I broke up with her, I literally did everything. The house was awful because I don't get home till late, Avi, LOL. But we got right to bed when I get besides me, taking Twinkie out, feeding all of them, including her. Y'all, Amberlynn is literally like an infant, dude. Like, Amberlynn loves to claim that she, like, oh my god, you guys, I'm like always cleaning. I'm like so OCD about this shit. We know now from Destiny and Beck, and we could see with our own fucking eyes during this, especially during the during the Destiny era. Amberlynn's a filthy bitch, dude. Like, the woman is nasty. The house in Florida was nasty. The house in Kentucky, not Destiny's mom's, but the little condo that they got, we could see it was gross most of the time. Every once in a while, Amberlynn would clean it up, but for the most part, it was disgusting. There was trash everywhere. It looked dirty. Clothes and shit were everywhere. It was not clean, dude. And when you have Destiny who's working crazy hours and like actually like busting their ass to make ends meet for themselves, and for Amberlynn, but at this point Amberlynn was making good money, but Destiny was not gonna fucking just rely on that, which good for her. She knew what the fuck was going on. And then like you have this like morbidly obese girlfriend who's a massive bitch and abuser who just sits all day at home not doing jack shit, couldn't fucking pick up a vacuum to save their fucking life, dude. And like you come home to that and then you have to do everything. You have to feed the pets. You have to clean the litter boxes. You have to go take Twinkie out for a walk. You have to clean around the kitchen. You have to feed the fucking 500-pound bitch. Like at some point it becomes overwhelming. Like we all know what it's like to come after a long day of work. You want to lay the fuck down, take a fucking gummy and chill the fuck out. Watch some TV. You don't want your brain on at that point. So it's not surprising. Yeah, Amberlynn's a lazy, nasty bitch, dude. We all knew it. And it's like, we now have two girlfriends confirming it. And we saw what Amberlynn's room looked like during the Crystal era. That house was nice. Like, the house was a very nice Midwestern house. And then you had Amberlynn's room with Crystal. And like, it was just full of Amberlynn's junk. It was just always trash with Amberlynn's junk, dude. So like, it's even in places that aren't hers, she trashes it. We saw the room in Destiny's mom's house that they were living in for a while. That place got absolutely shit on, dude. Like, it was so nasty. They couldn't even like, Amberlynn couldn't even be bothered to like keep up with the room. And obviously like Destiny could have done something too, but it's just like, it's a pattern we're seeing. Like, Amberlynn is not a clean woman in the way that she takes care of herself and in the way that she takes care of her environment. It's very nasty, and it's partly because she's not capable of doing it, and partly because she's lazy as fuck and wants everyone else to do things for her. So she can pretend she's a clean, like, like, oh, so OCD, so clean, like I hate disorder, like look how organized I am, all she wants now. But we know, we fucking know what that place probably looks like, and you're showing us just snippets of it, you know? Okay. Um and then getting myself squared away. I get that you got those vibes. She really is a shitty person a lot of the time. She comes off as a bitch a lot. It's like the world owes her something. Yep, Amberlynn really believes the world owes her something because of the life that she grew up with. Hate to break it to you, the world doesn't owe you jack shit. People have gone through worse. People have gone through better. It's up to you. Like, yes, you are handed cards, and it can make it harder, especially when you are in a system where it preys on certain people. However, like, Amber, you weren't in that situation, Amber. Like, you were given every opportunity, even growing up with the circumstances that you had, and you continued to throw them away. Throw them away one by one because you enjoyed sitting in the victim seat more than getting off your ass and putting in a little bit of work, or admitting the place that you're at intellectually and trying to make something with that. But instead, no. You just threw it all away. And what I mean by that is, like, she could have gone to, like, she's not intelligent. I do not think she could have graduated with a degree. She could barely graduate high school. She went to a for-profit university, which I'm not saying is indicative of her being stupid. However, we know Amberlynn is not intelligent. I don't think she would have even graduated that university if given the chance. She could have gone to a vocational school. She could have really learned how to do something that, like, was enjoyable for her, that she could make money, that she could, like, really have improved her life and, like, been self-sufficient. And instead, she, like I've said before, has to pimp out her morbidly obese body and her shit personality to make ends meet. And that's really crazy. No, Dimitri. Lastly, she blames it on her parents and her brother, but she did this to herself. Yes, I agree. Destiny said, I had one more photo to share, but the community post only allows 5 images, so I'll leave this one here as well. Okay, so the last one is, I moved here to get closer to my mom. I haven't been around her for longer than a month or 2 since I was 9. Amberlynn ruined that, basically. We had to move out because my mom and her didn't get along. We know, K-Cup incident. And honestly, like, I believe her mom's name was Misty. Misty fucking clocked Amberlynn the first fucking time they met in Florida. She fucking clocked this bitch, dude. Like, and I think that's a mother's intuition. You see your child with someone else. I also just think it's like a person who loves someone else. Like, I've seen my friends get in situations with other people, and I clock that shit real fast because, like, I care about them, and, like, you become hyper vigilant on that shit. And Misty clocked Amberlynn very fast. You could tell she did not like her. She was trying to help her get better, but, like, she would not let Amberlynn do her little bullshitty things, you know? Like, even in, like, the first time when she was staying with them for, like, a day or two, Amberlynn at this point, I mean, through the whole relationship, but really, like, took from the Crystal era of sneakily, like, recording her partners in various ship positions, and now she likes to pretend like, oh no, I didn't mean it like that, but, like, you could really tell, like, she'd always be giggling and, like, yeah, like, I'm getting something off of you. And I remember one specific clip where Destiny is, like, bending over or something, and, like, her butt crack is showing, which Amberlynn did a lot. And and Destiny's mom said, hey, your butt crack's being recorded right now. And then Destiny, like, Amberlynn immediately, like, turns it away. It was like, oh, like, because she hadn't been getting called out for this. Like, she was just able to do whatever she wanted to do, post whatever she wanted to post, and no one was calling her out. And Destiny's mom called it out. She called it out a few times, like, that Amberlynn would be recording and Destiny's mom would say shit about it. Be like, okay, so you're doing this now. Okay, why are you recording now? What are you doing right now? she was recording one time, them FaceTiming, and as soon as Destiny's mom realized, she gave her the death stare. Was like you could just tell she's just like, what the fuck, what's your problem right now, you know, like. So yeah, Destiny's mom clocked Amberlynn very fast, and so of course Amberlynn did not want Destiny to be around her mom, because her mom would be like feeding into her ear, having conversations with her daughter, saying, "Hey, this is not a good relationship. You need to get the fuck out of this. You need to get the fuck out of this relationship. I can see what it looks like from the outside. It don't look good, okay? We don't like her. She's not a good person. You need to get the fuck out." And this is why Amberlynn has always kept all of her partners away from their mothers and their loved ones, because Amberlynn thinks that she's intelligent, thinks that she's so sneaky and like able to play, you know, double agent out here, pretending like she's just like so nice and likable and like everyone loves her. But the reality is, people clock her bullshit from the very beginning, and they don't fuck with her. And when Amberlynn realizes that, she immediately switches and isolates the partner from those relationships. She did it with Destiny, she did it with Crystal, where she never really let Crystal go and like hang out with her parents at all, or let her go and do anything alone. Amberlynn like would constantly like segregate Crystal into either their bedroom or the living room if no one was around, and it was like nothing else, you know. uh with Destiny, we saw that, had to know where Destiny was 24/7, had to be with her 24/7. Same with Beck, and I'm sure the other relationships as well, although she started losing control after Beck, because she ended up becoming very needy in a lot of ways. But yeah, this is like a tale as old as time with abusers. They always segregate you and cause problems in your relationships, cause turmoil, which Amberlynn did, and separate you from your loved ones so that they don't have any ability to like put some sense into you. Destiny then finally says, so I've been rambling, y'all. Destiny finally says, once we moved out, I hardly see my mom or anyone in my family here. So that's the end of that. So yeah, obviously, again, like, Destiny was also very much a family girly, just like Beck. And so it's really sad because both of them, both of their mothers passed away from cancer, and Amberlynn was one of the biggest reasons why they were not able to spend the time that they could have with their mothers before they passed away. Now, granted, Destiny's mom passed away after they were in a relationship with each other. But at that point, Destiny was able to like see her mother while she was dying of cancer. You know, like she had all those years she could have spent while her mother was still healthy and like able to move and have fun and be herself. And Amberlynn took those years away from her because Amberlynn's a bitch. Amberlynn is a full-on narc abuser. That's just the reality of it. So I'm gonna cut this into a separate video. I'm gonna react right after this, so you're gonna see me in the same position. But I'm gonna cut this here. That was just a little synopsis of like my thoughts on the drama that happened the last few days. Sorry, I kind of rambled on it. It was really just, I just kind of wanted to express my thoughts on it. And I know all of y'all are updated, but if you aren't, keep you updated. I know I'm the last person y'all are coming for updates on this shit, but yeah, just wanted to give you my thoughts on it. And I will see you guys in just a minute with a